Hello, chasers! Starting up a business with no advice and with no asset protection is like walking into a casino and betting your house, and perhaps most of the other assets you have accumulated to date, on your favourite number. You risk losing everything. I'm Chris Becks, and I'm your host, and today we'll be discussing 5 reasons to get advice before starting a business in Australia, and why it's crucial that you understand them before you start one. Starting a business can be an exciting adventure, but it can also be a risky one. One of the biggest risks is that you could be held personally liable for any debts or legal issues that arise from your business. If your business fails or gets sued, your personal assets such as your home, car and savings could be at risk. To avoid this, it's important to take steps to protect your personal assets before starting a business in Australia. Let's dive into this episode. When a customer meets with us for the first time to discuss a business idea, purchasing an existing business or starting up a new one, we find that we often have to help them control their excitement and enthusiasm by introducing some negativity, by asking the question, what do you have to lose if this fails? They have never thought about the potential risk they are taking by going into business, the potential risk to their family, the potential risk to their health and sanity, and the potential risk of losing everything they have at this stage in their life. To help them get a real vivid picture of this potential risk, we get them involved in some eye-opening activities. We use either a whiteboard or computer screen to draw a line down the middle, and on one side get them to write the heading, Things We Own, and get them to list them all. When they have finished, we write a heading on the other side, Risks, and then brainstorm together a list of all the possible things that can go wrong in a business. Once they see this picture, it's like a Eureka moment, and they immediately see the importance of getting advice before they start their business. We then change the line that divides the two into a drawing of a wall to illustrate the importance of clearly dividing and separating the assets they own from the risk of running a business. So let's look at 5 ways you can protect your personal assets before starting a business in Australia. Number 1, separate the risk from your assets. The first option is to get some advice about your own personal situation and decide if you can have one person in your family as the risk taker who runs the business and the other person as the asset holder who holds all the assets of the relationship. Then check to see if you can move your assets into the name of the person who will not be a director or responsible for all of the affairs of the business. Generally, there is an exemption from stamp duty and capital gains tax if your share in the family home and other personal assets are transferred to your spouse. But that is why it is crucial to get advice at the very start. The next step under this key point of separating the risk from your assets is to get some advice about what type of business structure from which to operate your business, like a company or a trust with a company as a trustee. By doing so, you can separate your personal finances from your business finances. This generally means that if your business gets sued or goes bankrupt, your personal assets could be shielded from any legal or financial obligations of your business. Number 2, start your business plan. Most small business owners don't set out to fail when they start a business, yet they don't do themselves any favours if they don't have a business plan. In the wise words of Benjamin Franklin, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. A business plan is a written document that outlines what you want your business to achieve and what it looks like in terms of the strategies and tactics it will use. It is used as a roadmap for entrepreneurs, business owners and investors to understand the business's potential, challenges and opportunities. How many of us go on holidays without a plan? We research the destination, how we will get there, where we will stay, what we will do, who we will travel with, and how much we will spend. If we didn't take time to plan our holidays, they would be a disaster with so much left to chance. And yet, when it comes to business, most small businesses are doing exactly that, leaving their business's success up to chance. Remember this interaction of Alice in Wonderland? Alice, to the Cheshire Cat, would you tell me please which way I ought to go from here? The Cheshire Cat replies, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to. Alice replies, I don't much care where. And the Cheshire Cat says, then it doesn't much matter which way you go. If you don't have a plan for where your business is heading, then don't be surprised where you end up and if failure is the destination. Number 3, consider getting liability insurance. When a person or organisation is responsible for something, especially from a legal point of view, that's liability. Liability insurance can cover you for legal costs and compensation costs that you might have to pay if you are proved to be the cause of harm to another person, their property or business. It does not mean your ability to lie about something, though that could lead to another liability. Liability insurance protects you against a financial loss if your actions, your negligence, or the condition of your property is found to cause a person to be injured or killed, or a person's property to be damaged or destroyed, or they suffer loss as a result of relying on your services or advice. There are 3 forms of liability insurance: public liability, professional indemnity, and product liability. Liability insurance policies are most commonly taken out by businesses for risks involved in their day-to-day operations, but they are also built into many property insurance policies. For example, liability cover in home and contents insurance. Liability insurance covers 2 key financial risks. One is the legal cost of defending a claim, and the second is the compensation that you may be directed to pay the injured or wronged party, plus their legal costs, if a claim against you is upheld. Point 4. Be wary of personal guarantees. A personal guarantee is a specific agreement between a director or some other guarantor like the asset holder and a particular creditor. The usual provision is simply that if the company that incurred the debt cannot or does not pay the liability, then the creditor can seek payment from the director or other guarantor personally. Usually the only way a director or other guarantor can get out of a personal guarantee is to pay the debt, negotiate an agreement to pay the debt, or in the worst case, go bankrupt. And number 5, avoid anything illegal. It's crucial to avoid engaging in illegal or fraudulent activity. If you do engage in such activity, your personal assets could still be at risk. A good example to illustrate this point was the case of a local fish and chip operator who is involved in some crayfish and abalone poaching activities, who got caught by the Fisheries and Wildlife inspectors and forfeited his car, boat and fishing gear as a consequence. So why is it important to get advice to protect your personal assets before starting a business in Australia? Well, the short answer is that it can save you from financial ruin. The 5 reasons you should consider getting advice before starting a business were: number 1, separating your personal assets and finances from your business risk and business finances. Number 2, write your plan for your business. Number 3, consider liability insurance. Number 4, be wary of giving personal guarantees. And number 5, avoid illegal or fraudulent activities. If you get advice in these 5 areas, you can help reduce the risks associated with starting a business. Starting a business is an exciting venture, but it's important to do your research and take the necessary steps to protect yourself and your personal assets. Getting advice, especially professional advice and not the advice from your mates at a barbecue, is cheap insurance. You can help safeguard your personal assets and set yourself up for success in your business endeavours. Thank you for listening. I'm Chris Becks, and I look forward to presenting our next episode to you.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the Chasers channel, we would love you to share it with your business friends and colleagues, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from CBEX Business Solutions for Good, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/CBEX, Instagram at CBEX, and on the internet at cbex.com. Thanks again, and we'll be sharing new info with you on our next episode.